Okay, so this is the hinge. It literally goes in like that, bolts in, and then this is meant to attach to this. But obviously that's a long way away because I have a 37 there with negative 44 offset rims. So that's a problem. And as you can see, this is very worn out. It's meant to have little rollers there. And I got this, a mate actually got it for me. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the rollers on it. I'm gonna try and track down some rollers, but like it's gonna work regardless. For the meantime, it's just gonna be sliding on metal instead of rollers. So I will try and find some rollers, but what I plan to do is use two of them and modify it. So ignore this. This is like just the inner and it's kind of ripped up. I'm probably gonna replace all that anyway. I'll make custom stuff. But basically this is gonna go in there like that. And then I'm gonna cut this end off and use this one, which is, you know, worn out, the one that come with the car, and put that on that side, so I have a hinge on both ends, which will allow the door to pop out this much, but then go back into this much. I'll show you guys what I mean. Okay, so I just chucked them on the ground. I wanna make this a very quick video, but I wanna also show you guys what I'm doing. So basically, what I know is from here to basically this hole is how much I need to step it out. Where if I line this little hingey bit up with the hole, we're pretty much like half and half. So what I plan on doing is I'm going to cut through here on both of them, and then I'm going to join them together. So it'll look very factory because this is just going to be on both ends. I'm going to do that now. Okay, so I just got it on the ground here. I'm going to just do it on the ground because I plan on doing this very fast. I don't want to muck around. So I'm just going to use the tape to mark my cut line. Okay, and then this has got to be the opposite. So basically right on that edge, which is what I was hoping for, because I don't want that hole to be a part of it. Just like that. And then I want to weld these two together. So now on this side, I just want to cut off the rollers and like the brackets, anything like that, just so it's a smooth sort of only the sides, and then I can weld that to the other flat piece on the ground, and then that is what will bolt to the door. And then once I'd done that, I picked up the piece that was on the ground, and I'm just shaving the lip off because this is going to be the piece that bolts to the sliding door, and then the other piece is going to fold on top of this. You'll see what I mean later down the track, but I just didn't want this to be too thick. So as you can see, I've cut that part of the hinge, so it's just got the two sides that are attached to the hinge, and then these two sides are going to attach to this part. So I'm just going to tack this in, and then I'll check that everything works, and then once I'm happy with everything, I'm going to weld up the whole hinge. So this part isn't necessary. It just looks tidier if I do. So basically I'm just lining this piece up. So this is one of the offcuts of the hinge. The other side of the hinge has this sort of end on it. So I'm just making this end on it, which is just curvier and more rounded off rather than a straight cut off edge.
So now the hinge is basically finished apart from welded. Everything works as it should, so now I've just got to weld the thing up. And after I'd finished welding, I'll let it cool down for a little while, and then I'll put the flappy disc on the grinder, and I'm just going to sand all the welds down, so then it will look like a factory part and it won't look like a DIY hinge.
Okay guys, so it's weird because I put it underwater because it was really hot and I didn't really have time to let it cool down. So basically, the way it worked factory was this went in, and then there was a hole here and there's a hole there, and that's bolted on. So essentially it's doing the same thing. As you can see, that hole lines up with the previous hole. I'm going to drill this hole out a little bit bigger, probably like almost the size of this, so that this bolt head will go through that hole, if that makes sense. So when it goes like that, it doesn't space out at all, which it's doing now. And why is that? Because I need to fix that. Oh, it's because of the weld. So it needs a little bit more grinding. It was horrible stuff to weld like this. I sanded it all the way down, as you can see, but it still had some, whatever they plated in, that galvanizing shit. You can't get rid of it, and it's just horrible to weld. But anyway, so then this will bolt on same as it did, but when it pops out, it'll be like that, and then like that. So it's going to be that much more spaced out, and that'll get around the wheel. And then when the door's closed, it'll close as it was, and it'll be exactly the same, hopefully.
Alrighty guys, so that is my hinge. I've spray painted it black with just some black zinc, just so it looks a little nicer and like it doesn't stand out as much. So that hole there, I've also drilled out slightly bigger. I took it out of the drill press just before and drilled that out bigger. So that is the same, so that there is bigger than a bolt head, so basically a bolt head can go through it. And I'll show you what I mean shortly. So while I let that dry, I've also got to cut out this part here where it bolts in. Okay, so what I did is I cut this little piece here out. So now that that's gone, I am going to just use my black spray can, and I'll just flick some paint over the edge that I cut just so it doesn't get rusty. But as you can see, this solid plate here is what it bolts to, so technically it doesn't need that front cover. Okay guys, so I'm going to put this back in. It's not dry, but I'm a little bit impatient. But that's fine. So basically, like it is made at the back here, you take this off, you put it in, you slide all the way across, but I'm able to do that too. And then, yeah, you can see the finger marks. I'll probably just spray it once it's in. I'm not really too concerned, like it wasn't even painted from factory. I push this back in, line it up. So as you just see me do, the doors are now able to open. I've made this custom hinge which folds like this, and then once it goes like that, you can see it folds in and it's catched on the front. It's got a catch here, and it's also got a catch here, and that's what it looks like closed. So to open the door is pretty easy. It's just got to get around that wheel, which it does. Close is pretty much the same thing. And when it's open, it doesn't really stick out that much at all. I actually think it looks kind of cool. And then from the front, you can see it kind of bumps out. I'll show you guys sort of how it works. So that's the hinge there. I've cut the part of the door around here. This was already cut to here and to here, and the old owner put screws in it because obviously this must have been catching on the door. But if I'm able to show you guys without blocking it, I'm going to put a handle in here. So basically those handles there, I'm going to go to the wreckers this weekend, and I want to get another handle like that because I kind of want to put another handle there to get in and out just to make it easier because this thing's high. And also I might look to see what style of handles, if I can find one that's like this, looks like this, I might do it there, and then I can put a handle there so then I can pull the door closed, because you need to pull the door closed like that. So this wheel mechanism I did after I stopped filming, but basically this just stops. Times when it slid out, it slid back and it tried to fold a wee bit too much, so this is just a stopper to stop that. As always guys, cheers for watching. If you haven't already watched these two videos, please do so. If not, I'll see you next Tuesday. If you found this helpful, just like the content in general, please give it a like. And also, YouTube is telling me only 40% of my active viewers are subscribed. What are you guys doing? Please subscribe.